Are you recording?
I'm recording always.
No, that's such a lie. What's interesting in finance is it's like this great big puzzle piece. You literally have a table and you've got all these different pieces. You've got the customer's credit, you've got their income, how long they've lived in their homes. Then you take the lenders, and all these lenders operate different, because it's not like if a customer buys a $10,000 car, they send us a $10,000 check. They give us what they call a discount, because they're not allowed to say, we're gonna charge you a fee because that customer's credit shit. So what we have to do is figure out, can we still be profitable, take the discount, the fee, and take care of the customer. But that's not why we're out here. We came out to service because last week I bought a G Wagon. Perfect. But for some reason, you buy a $150,000 G Wagon that's a couple of years older, and the radio's from a decade ago. So we're gonna rip all that shit out, replace it with something that's a little bit better. So whenever I called them and asked them specifically this shit, they just...
Yeah, I just called him back. He said, yeah, I talked to, I believe it was Michael. I told him that we would have to, that there's no harness available for the fiber optics, but he was, the guy on the phone was unsure that it had fiber optics, but with it being an AMG that he assumed it probably did. So all Land Rovers, Mercedes, they all run on fiber optics.
Oh shit, so...
and then this harness doesn't do steering wheel controls either. That's a whole separate harness that you'll have to buy additional.
You should really understand that when you assist people in delivering bad news, you make them hate you. Anything else terrible you want to tell me? So the suggestion would be that there's potentially a fiber optic harness that would convert fiber optic
To a hard line local.
Is there something we can find like that? You know what I'm saying? A piece that converts this new recording thing we're doing. I like it. This thing these guys are trying to do, I don't like it. So ultimately, here's what these guys want to tell me. Can't be done. So quick to say something can't be done instead of doing just a little bit of research and seeing that you can do anything you want for under $100. Did you see that? This is the converter that I need to make all this work, that I'm being told can't be done. Then the next question is that a safety concern? If it's a safety concern, we're going to address it, because I'm not going to be in a situation where somebody gets hurt in one of our cars. It's not worth it. I'm not trying to make money that way.
Right. Yeah.
But if it's a rattle or something that is non-safety, then these guys can either sell around it or they'll include it in the deal and close the deal. And I hired ninjas in this department to be able to handle that. Our new car stores. So there's like 50 to 100 people like us that have a true service department, body shop. We can do everything to a vehicle, but these guys don't, like, they can't compete. So this opens up a window for us to grab cars that nobody else can, get them retailed to the customer lower than anybody else could, and make more money on the front side. But then we pass that on to the customer anyway, because that's the only kind of car that they can get approved on.
Right.
I'm gonna leave you on speaker, and I'm gonna check NMR and see if that's. Did you buy that? Did you buy that at KCI, or did you buy that at?
Yeah, I bought it at KCI at whenever I was sitting there.
I just have to get everybody tuned in to the overall vision, because if I don't, then what happens, there's a break in the process. When you build these machines out, like just for example, in the car business, we buy cars. If they take 2 weeks to get a car through service and they're not proficient at it, that's 2 weeks that car doesn't go through detail. That's 2 weeks we don't get pictures. And in this industry, it's not about coming to a dealership anymore, it's about a digital showroom. So that's like actually my focus today is figuring out the digital showroom and figuring out why I have a bottleneck in service. So I think we've come up with some solutions, but I just need everybody to buy into why. I bought these tiles. And we're gonna essentially checker this entire floor. But these are bomb because they literally just snap together. Evidently I'm not strong enough just to demonstrate that. I evidently don't have any idea how this works, so there's that. I actually do.
Operating in your gifts.
It's not my gifts. Boom, done. What's cool about this stuff though is it fits so tight and true that like dirt doesn't go in between them, they last. But here's the thing, like this floor was 2 G's. Like, why would you spend $2,000 on a checkered floor? What does it do? Well, this used to be our service center, and now we use this to take pictures. And there's not like an eloquent way to say this, but packaging matters. And so our digital showroom, when people come in, like when they come into our showroom online, they want to see that we take pride in our cars. They want the cars to look good. And so what I did when I started out, I had a pretty little green patch over on the far outside of our lot, and I take all my pictures in the exact same spot, take the exact same pictures to begin the process. Okay, I need to get pictures out. I need to show people. I need to have consistency in my packaging. And then as we grew, we finished out this space so that we could take nicer pictures. But we were taking pictures with my logo up on the wall here over the vehicle, but then the ground looked like crap. So why go through the struggle of like recreating this space without making all of it 100? So that's what the floor is gonna do. We've got a really cool little checker design, a red square, and pulling cars in and out of here. It's gonna look pretty bomb. But more than anything, it's gonna demonstrate a perception to our customers of how we do business. We pay attention to the little details in how we sell you the car, so probably it stands to reason we pay attention to details when we're repairing your car or fixing your car, getting your car ready for you to come purchase. So it's all about like just putting out to the world that we do it better than everybody else who won't invest in this sort of stuff. And those guys, I'll beat every day of the week. So this is it, right? Like this at one point in time was a service center, and it was exactly what we needed for the processes we had built at the time. When we recognized that we wanted to scale the business, add staff, sell more cars, offer service to the public, this space wasn't gonna cut it anymore. And this unusable space that we finished out, that we just got done putting in the floor. And like I had a guy working on this, he was moving way too slow, he was doing a pretty good job, but like he needed help. So I actually came out and finished the second half of the floor with him. It was a pain in the butt. Why would I take the time to do it? Because it was critical. We had cars that were being detailed. They were lining up outside. They were ready for pictures. And look at this. I mean, how much better does this space look when the floor is completed? It's those little details inside of the process. So you can get all the right components inside of the engine of a car, but if you don't tune them just right, they're not effective. They might run, but it could spit and sputter. It won't get you where you want to go. But in something like this, like those little finishing touches are where that top 5%, that win is found. And it's investments like this that most people won't make that will hinder them for a lifetime. So the question is, if I sell 1,000 cars over the next 2 years, and in that same time window, 25 of them happen because somebody thinks, wow, that's a good look. I'm super impressed with how that vehicle looks. They don't even realize subconsciously that the branding in the background looks professional, that the clean white crisp lines, and then the beautiful floor with the perfectly detailed car. They make that buying decision. They make that decision to come visit us and see if we're everything that this gives them the feeling that we are. But how many more cars will I sell over the course of the next 2 years? Out of that 1,000 cars, will I sell another 20 cars? And if I make $1,000 a car, I just made 20 G's I wouldn't have made because of a $2,000 investment in my floor. Is it worth it? I think.